What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Anthony Bond, and I am here with my fabulous, beautiful cast and writers of Conframa. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to work with all of these people. As some of you guys already know, this is the last segment for our characters. So we're pretty much going to get into it in this conversation, give you guys a little bit of backstory of what's going on, and also have an opportunity to talk to the OGs, Albert and Alexandria, from Conframa in the show. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let me have the writers introduce yourself. Let's start with season one writer.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lamonte Valentine. I've been writing for a few years now, but this was the first time that I really got to sink my teeth into something like Conframa. I had a blast doing season one. I was kind of sad that I couldn't come back for season two, but I was ecstatic with everything that everybody did. Our OG actors, y'all knocked it out the park. I couldn't ask for a better casting. Mwah. But I'm here to just talk and really appreciate the folks that really made this awesome.
And I, first of all, thank you, Lamonte, for taking on this journey of talking about my crazy life experience. As all of you guys know, this show is based off of a true life situation that happened with me
I
in
didn't
my.
know that shit.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
You didn't know?
Damn, this shit got like that for real.
The
He
Ross
just
face.
drops it
So
in
we
real
did not know.
casual.
Right.
That's how this. I thought I told y'all this.
Maybe not me though. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Not me
Oh,
either.
oh my God! Yes, this is based off a real life story that
Wow.
me and my husband went through, but we just dramatized it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, right.
So season two was written by Matthew, who's not on the call, but he did the first part of season two, and I wrote the rest of season two, which kind of sort of carried the through line throughout the show, explaining kind of sort of some of the characters that didn't return. Like Chase and Breton, that wasn't in season two, and we kind of sort of I didn't really want the characters to die off. So I was trying to keep the story going and keep it alive, because obviously, Alexandria and Dan were prominent in the first season and wanted to make sure that we kept this through line for the second season to keep on going. So that's kind of sort of season two. Now I want to introduce the writers for season three, Ben and Danielle. So go ahead and introduce you guys yourselves. Sorry.
Ladies first.
I'm shy. I don't know what to say. Danielle, based in New York. Fairly new writer, definitely a new writer for this type of series. So I was grateful when Anthony answered my call, when he put out a call for a writer for the new season for Conframa, and I binge watched it. I didn't watch it at first, and I'm like, this is a lot of drama. This is messy.
A little bit.
It's messy. And I'm not messy, so I'm just like, let me get in my bag a little bit and trying to find some messiness to pull from. But it was fun. It was fun writing this season.
I feel you on that though. I had to do some research because I'm like, ooh, I don't know nothing about this life.
Yes, and I am Ben Ra. I've been writing for many years, writing and acting, and this has been a very unique experience because I joined something kind of like a train that was already in motion, and it was so collaborative and cool to bounce off of ideas and the way things would evolve from just feeding off of each other, which is such a cool learning experience that I'm really thankful for.
Yes. And first of all, the I just want to appreciate the fact that we had all Black writers for the show. Can we just talk about that? It was all Black writers, minus one writer. He was white, but he wrote the first 3 episodes, but in season 2. But that's that's neither here nor there.
He,
But
he
anyway,
ain't write the full season. That's all I'm gonna say. He ain't write a full season. So,
but but okay. So let's moving on. So Dan and Alexandria, you guys introduce yourselves.
Yes, my name is Albert Monero Jr. I am the mystery origin actor. So no one can tell if I'm really supposed to be here or if I'm playing the actual white character, But at any rate, for all the writers, I hope you're not upset with me because I know when Anthony and I would get on scene, we sometimes jump around. But the springboard was so wonderful, and I enjoyed from the audition. I enjoyed the writing. I remember that when I went out there to Culver City to meet Anthony, and I saw the audition, I was like, oh damn, okay, this actually looks good and fun, not the shit that you normally get every time you come into an audition. So yeah, much appreciation for you guys. I always had, Anthony and I just always had fun. It always felt like a birthday party when we filmed together.
Yes.
And my character was wacky, and I made him wackier. Looking back, I'm not sure if that was the right move, but I did see that.
You were definitely a staple. You were definitely a staple.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Dan definitely, towed the other line. And everybody who works with somebody like Dan knows that character who just wants to be down so bad and, feels like he maybe doesn't fit in. So he tries way too hard to fit in,
Right.
and think of whatever he thinks is cool. Right. So of course, no one ever agrees with him, but he keeps trying. So it was a lot of fun. It was so much enjoyment whenever we got to shoot. So too bad, I hope it goes on 10 seasons or
whatever. Alexandria.
I'm just introducing myself. Was there a question after that? I'm so sorry.
No, just introduce yourself.
Okay, all right. Yes, I am Alexandria McGoy. I play Keisha on the series. Yes, that is I. I've been here from season 1. It has been an amazing experience. I love the cast. I love all the cast. Crew. It's been fun. We're almost like, we're like family now. So it's been really fun.
So going into it, let's start with Albert and Alexandria. So let's start with Alexandria. I remember when you first came into, I don't know if you remember the audition process. It was me and Robert, and we were in the auditioning process, and you were auditioning for a completely different character.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny because when you left out of the room after your was that your second time reading, I think?
Maybe.
I think it was
the second.
Yeah, I think it was your second time reading. I sat and I was talking with Robert, and I said, it's something about her that is sitting but not sitting. And he had the brilliant idea where he said, you know what, Anthony, let's try to have her read for Keisha and have the other girl read for Ashley. And I said, okay, it wasn't what I had in mind. So then when we told you, and when you came in and you read for Keisha, me and Robert literally just sat there and was like, she said that's Keisha. Yeah, it was so it was so profound to me, how you were able to switch. Because I remember you kept saying, this is not who you are in real life.
Right. Ashley, yeah. Oh, Keisha.
Yeah, it was like, Keisha, that's not who I am in real life. So the fact that when you came in and you literally owned those words when you said it, I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. So it kind of worked out the way that it did. But since we're still on you, Alexandria, talk about your experience from the first season.
Okay. From the first season, just being thrown in, I guess, I don't know, as an actress in LA, you go on so many auditions and you never know what to expect out of the production, right? So I just didn't know what I was getting into, and of course, years later, I'm pleasantly surprised and just so happy that I did go through it with it and didn't just treat it as any other thing. But season 1 was amazing. All the directors, everybody's just so fun and just, has the mindset of getting the job done, but also having fun at the same time, which is, it always made coming to set just so amazing. There was never any drama, at least between me and anybody. There was never any drama. So, that made it just so much easier to just, be free and be in the character and just, do the job that I was hired to do. So I've had a really great time, and I've pushed myself, being Keisha, and just the topics that we talk about, you just kind of have to be like, okay, we in it.
Right. So, and that was going to be my next question to segue into, like, looking at your character from season 1 to knowing what you filmed already for season 3. Like, how would you describe the growth of your character with everything that was introduced? Because well, I want to ask, what was your thought process of the 3-way relationship that you had?
You know what? To be honest, I don't know if I did have a thought process. Everything that was thrown at me, I was just like, okay, all right, this is what it is. And I think, but what helped is that knowing what I was stepping into with the show in general, just like what it was about. You were talking about, a couple that was bringing into a third relationship, or just talking about love in different ways. Like, relationships can look differently. So I think when you said I would then become part of a throuple, I was just like, well, oh, clearly, like, it just, so I don't think I thought too much into it. I was just like, okay, this is what it is. It definitely opened my eyes to, like, love can look different, there may be drama that comes along with it, but there's drama that comes with love, and with 2 people, with one person, drama with love with yourself, you get what I'm saying? So right. You can't escape it. So I don't think I just went with it, rolled with the punches. And from season 1 to season 3, I don't know if it was gross, because I definitely took off more clothes. I didn't think I would be in lingerie in season 3 with a whip in hand, but here we are.
Right. So now going into, like, what is your expectations after filming season 3? Because Ben and Danielle have already saw the first 4 episodes of season 3 already. So what is your expectations of, like, the 3rd season?
Oh, of the 3rd season?
Yeah.
What are my expectations? Always the confusion and drama. Confusion and drama. Just with lots of with sex mingled in there some way. And isn't that life?
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
I mean, with COVID, ain't got much else to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I expect a lot. I expect good things.
Cool. So Albert, going to you, just talk about your experience from the very first season.
Well, the first things I remember is the audition was far away. But I was like, that's okay. I drive far for auditions. The second thing I thought was the title was like a Spanish novella, Con Frama. I was like, I know what con means, but what the hell is frama? I'm like, I don't know that word. I was like, it's with what? I don't get it.
Oh my God.
But then I come there, and, like, I remember the audition place was hella posh, like candies and sodas, and it was all white and tile and looked nice and shit. And then you came and got me, and I didn't know you were the man. I thought you were just a guy I was reading with. So if I treated you shitty in the beginning, that's my fault.
It's okay. It's okay. A lot of people didn't.
No. You were totally cool from the beginning, of course. And I remember we went in and we read with the other white dude, and so I didn't know it was gonna be like an all black ensemble, right? So, because I saw one white dude, you and me. I'm like, okay, this is like regular,
right?
But then when I came to set, I was
like, aha!
I didn't realize. I'm like, okay, they did the John Turturro thing. They brought me in. I was like, all right, that's awesome.
It was
but I thought the best part of the entire process was the comfortability with improving and creating on the set. That's beautiful, because in most environments it's very stringent. You're not allowed to do that, which means you're not allowed to be very creative. And the amount of creativity that we were able to produce, was, we always were laughing. That's the key sign. When you're laughing when you're shooting, you're doing something right.
Exactly. And I think that's the one thing that I felt, that every time that me and you were filming together, it was the improv that made those scenes work so well. Because I would literally feed off of him, and I would just go with it, and we would just literally, sometimes we would have takes that would be so long that would be because we just be laughing and going somewhere else. Rob would be like, "All right, guys,
Yep.
let's get it
One of us
together."
got to be responsible.
You knew it was good when we'd end up like singing by the end of our lines. We'd both be like singing.
Yes, we were always in the take with singing something, and we're just like, "What is happening here?" Oh my goodness. Okay, so now talk about your experience with season 2 and 3.
Okay, so season 2, Dan got in some murky waters, and it was. I'll be totally honest with you. When I came back and watched season 2 and saw what I did, I was like, oh shit, I don't even know if this is cool. Like
Right,
in the moment, it felt fine, but now I look like a real fucking POS. I
right.
was like, damn. But that's the thing. Once again, when you have people like Dan who try too hard, sometimes when they're put, at the tournament of champions, they just lose it.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what happened. Dan was so, trying to prove even with, his relational partner. It's
yeah,
like, he was really emphasizing something to the nth degree, and it really backfired at the end of season 2. And honest to God, I was like, I probably won't be in season 3 at all. I'm all Dan fucked up. It's like, I don't think no
no,
one wants to see his fucking ignorant racist ass again.
no. But the funny part about it is that I purposefully wanted because when we had talked about it at the end of the first season, I said it would be interesting if Dan actually had a black wife.
Yeah.
So out of all of this stuff that he would say, that he was like, wait a minute, he got a black wife and his wife ain't checking him at the house. So the going into that, as we saw in the second season, I felt like those were real moments, because that's a real situation. Situations like that really really happen where they're interracial couples, and then there's one part of the couple that it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm not. I tell him this, but he gonna do what he want to do anyway. So
No, you came hard at the end of that episode. That drama was intense. I was like, oh shit.
well, I mean, it's coming head to head with those situations and making
Yeah.
sure that to give it the most realistic thing. And to talk about season 3, um, you were actually supposed to be written in a little bit more in season 3. However, because of the production schedule and COVID, things got cut.
I know.
As
I felt
Yeah.
like Barney in The Simpsons. Like I knew I had to come in and like give a burp. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So okay, so now let's go ahead and let's go back to Lamonte
Oh
for the
boy.
writing.
Oh boy.
All right. So looking back on the whole season, the first season, what do you think that you would change?
Hmm, that is an excellent question. I definitely think I should have given the character of Dan a lot more room. And admittedly, I remember the two of us, we were kind of, remember we were a little bit on the fence about how much spotlight, for lack of a better term, that Dan kind of got in that first season. And I wish I
Mhm.
kind of had I had sat us down and we both of us kind of realized like, ooh, we could really kind of dig into something there, because what I saw what you did with Dan in season 2 was phenomenal.
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, we could have set this up to a little bit more in season 1. Ah, come on.
Right.
But I am still, grateful for, just how far that went. I think had I known how capable Alexandria would have been, oh, I'd have given you so much more. And I actually do have to speak to this girl. So a lot of Keisha's isms are based off of a best friend of mine. I got a lot of those one-liners. It was like really like, girl, did you really just fucking say that? One-liners kind of
Mhm.
came from her, and I sat her down and I showed her the show, and tears came to her eye because
What?
of the amazing job you did. Like she was legitimately in tears, both just happy and also just laughing her ass off. Like I remember when I got the episodes early, I call, ahead and I was like, so you gonna pay her some more because her back hurting because she carrying all y'all right now. At least when it comes to the comedy.
He did say that. He said that.
Wow.
He did say that to me. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I didn't know what to
Keisha
say.
Keisha spin off.
Right.
I am here for it. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Absolutely, hun. Just like, and I remember a lot of the people that I would show the show to, just especially sending that episode 1, all they needed to do was just watch all of your scenes and they were instantly hooked. They were like, I need to see this bitch some more because oh my God. And I'm just like, yeah, you do. Go and watch the rest of the show. Thank you. You can find it here.
Keisha is the fan favorite of the entire series. I've told you this. I've told her this. She's the fan favorite of the entire series. Despite really we over here doing all everything. Right.
No.
But so then what Lamonte, what are your thoughts on your original thoughts on the casting choices for the characters?
You really want me to get into all of that for season 1?
Yes. Don't
remember
hold
you
back.
asked for it now.
Yeah, I said, don't hold back.
Some of the actors there was really not a whole lot of chemistry there. And I'm speaking as a former actor. I did a lot of stage acting in my youth. So when I looked at that, you had more chemistry with Albert and y'all scenes. And I'm like, well, damn, these two need to get together because them little things you got over there, I don't bless their hearts. They're trying, but it was very obvious from episode 1 that these were actors who were not comfortable in their roles. And I can understand that sometimes, a role will call you to do something you haven't done before. But as a former actor, I also, I guess I have an expectation of, hey, either bow out gracefully when you know that this shit's too hot for you, or come to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to be understanding because obviously, especially when you're dealing with stuff new, like, Alexandria mentioned, like, oh shit, I'm in lingerie with a whip in my hand. Oh no. But here we are. At the end of the day, she still came to work. Right. And that's kind of, I wish there was a little bit more of a commitment from those actors, but they did what they could in the span. They very pretty to look at. Let's just, that's my positive for them. They were real pretty to look at. Bless their hearts.
Well, to clean it up just a little bit, I will say that working with both of them, and me and Max, we recently had this conversation where we talked about this because he's not a part of the lifestyle of the culture. So I understood that it was extremely uncomfortable for him to go that extra mile for what was required for the scenes. Because if y'all read the sides in the scripts of season 1, y'all would have been like, what?
I was waiting for my day to come. I'm like, when are they gonna ask me to tongue another dude?
I was like, but I think that that was a learning experience also for me, but also for them as well, because like how you said, if you commit to something, you have to commit, and as an actor, that's what your responsibility is to not judge the character. Like you gotta go in with it and just fully dive in with it. Last question for you, Lamonte. So where do you see the show going?
I am excited for season 3 because season 2 was very interesting and it left a lot of questions that I'm excited to get the answer, but I'm also not excited because I'm like, this gonna get real messy. I'm not sure I want to know how this ends. But I see it going in an amazing place. A big test of character for me is whether or not, your writers can smile about the work that they do. And I've seen nothing but giggling and smiling from both Danielle and Biz. So I'm ecstatic to see kind of where it go, and hopefully, maybe we can get a little bit of chill time because season 2, y'all was busy, y'all was real busy. And I'm like, I'm exhausted watching y'all. Can I get a sit down? Can I get a cigarette? Like,
Right. Okay. Okay. So going into season 3, Danielle and Ben, I think, how long did we talk about developing season 3? Like, how many Zoom calls did we do during quarantine? We did a lot.
Yeah, we must have met maybe like 4 or 5 times before we even really started to write.
Right.
Before we separated and started writing for ourselves, we just brainstormed maybe 4 or 5 times, right? At least.
Right. And Danielle, I would say in the beginning, because you kept saying that you're a new writer, your level of organization and keeping things in line, because you know me, I can just dwindle off. But the fact that you kept everything in line, and this girl, when I say that she structured like when we was talking, when we had a meeting, we had a shared document, and she structured each episode of what was going to happen in each episode. So therefore, when we assigned us sections to write for the 3rd season, it was easy to write because we knew what was supposed to happen, but then we got to fill in the blanks with the lines. So just really quickly, talk about, we'll start with Danielle. Just talk about like, what were your thoughts on developing the final segment for these characters?
I was nervous, honestly. I was super nervous because you already established like 2 seasons, and these characters already had a voice, a life, you know what I mean? So as a new writer coming in who had to binge watch the first 2 seasons, I was like, writing for these people that I don't know, you know what I mean? But talking about it with you two, it made it easier. And then, I was trying to give Keisha more because Keisha is also my favorite.
yes,
Alexandria.
yes.
So I wanted her to keep her comedy, but also give her more depth because I still didn't know who she was. You know what I mean? I'm just like, she could handle it. Like, I knew she could handle it. So that was like my biggest thing coming into it. And I don't know if you had other female writers. So I'm like, maybe my voice will kind of help that with her storyline. But yeah, I was nervous at first, but talking about it and breaking down what we want to see happen, like we bounced off each other really well. I feel like we were kind of in alignment on a lot of things. And then some things we weren't, but I feel like we balanced it out at the end, what we want to see in the episodes.
Same question for you, Ben.
Yeah, I think a lot what you were saying, Danielle, about it being like daunting, this pre-established thing, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I knew once Anthony mentioned that it would possibly be the end of some of these characters' screen time, that I really wanted to see them kind of either come full circle or see where they would, where that story would lead them, their growth, see them be challenged and strike out and be independent was a really big deal, and making sure that they were their each unique voices were held onto integrity, because there's so many characters and they're all so different. And that's what's great about the show, that there's so many people of color and they're different. They're not all like, these are how Black people act. This is how Black women talk. There's so many of them. They're all so uniquely special. So that's what I just love diving into each of those characters. So.
Cute. So, so the next question, I'll start with you, Ben. What storyline did you find challenging to write? With what characters? Like, what storyline did you find challenging?
I don't really think I found any of them challenging, but I guess just to answer the question, I think that the one that I think was the most delicate to handle was the family dynamics of, like, you have the aunts and you have the mom, and then you're in a coma, and then you have the ex-husband and then the brother who's estranged. I think that was kind of tricky because each of them talk to each other differently. There's different power dynamics. There's different respect for authority. There's loss of respect in some areas too. So I think that was the trickiest part because it was so entangled, and then having them all in the same space. But it wasn't challenging. I thought it was kind of juicy.
Okay. Same question for you, Danielle.
I'll say the same, but watching the first 4 episodes, Ben, you did episode 3. That was my favorite. I'm just like, and I can't give anything away, right? So I can't like.
No, you can talk about it because this is not gonna air.
Oh, okay.
This air after the episode. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was for me like one of the most challenging things to break down, to give it justice, not make it seem like cheesy and really like soap opera, like or whatever. So I think, but it came out well. And the second thing for me was the trajectory of Keisha integrating with her ex-husband and this new wife. Again, not making it so like comedic, because I feel like there's some real hurt and feelings behind Keisha, having to get a divorce and seeing this man like live a life with this woman. So I wanted to treat that delicately and do it some justice. Those are like the 2 biggest things for me as well. Yeah.
Okay. So looking back at the first 4 episodes that you guys saw, what would you change?
It's a trap. Don't do it.
Nothing.
It's already shot. It's already
right.
Nothing. I mean, I think what's cool about writing and directing and acting and being on different parts of the different elements of what makes the whole is that, when you write something, you have it one way, right? And then the actors get a hold of it and they bring what they bring to it and it's different. And then the editors get a hold of it and then it's different with how they print it out. You know what I mean? So it's going, I give what I give and it gets passed on. And then when I see it come full circle, I'm not the only person who put ingredients into that gumbo. So when I'm tasting it, it's not just me, it's everyone's process that got put into it. So I don't think I would change. I thought it was a really cool experience. Yeah, and some things were exactly like I pictured it. Some things were nothing like I pictured it. Some things were in the middle. It's pretty cool to watch it back.
Danielle?
Yeah, so I got a little different take. I don't know if I'm being critical of myself or I feel like my episode, I was like, I needed some more. I needed like that Anthony flavor to like give it the oomph. Yeah. I'm not like this high drama writer. So it was kind of, for me, it was kind of slow in a bit. And then some things that were written or that I saw, it wasn't how I saw it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, what's happening here? What's happening here? So I think another pass on the script. Well, that's one thing I would have just changed for episode 2.
Okay, so let's go into it. Let's go into it real quick because we're getting toward the end.
Okay.
So talk about it really quickly. We'll start with you, Danielle. Watching the first episode? Let's start with the very first episode of season 3. What were your thoughts?
He's like, I didn't like it.
I was like, this is a lie. It was dramatic. What's going on? Someone getting shot. I'm like, you getting kidnapped. I'm just like, this is too much going on. Can we get to the sex? Because I was like, it's too much.
You have Danielle do commentary for every episode.
Yeah. It was very in line of like confusion.
Yeah, it was. And it was like I got the sense it was coming to an end too. So it was like I got that feeling like this is final chapter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot going on.
Okay. Cool. Ben, what are your thoughts from episode 1?
I thought episode 1 for me, especially because I guess the way I look at it coming through the process, that when we had first started writing episode 1, you kind of had drafted and that was kind of like put together a little bit before we even discussed the rest of the season.
Right.
So to me, it was very much like episode 1 was cleaning up the things left over from season 2 so that we could begin season 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of like cleaning up some of the loose ends and where we left off. So it just kind of seems like the bit between the seasons almost. So it really kind of gets going in your episode 2. So it was cool. I was happy to be back into it.
Cool. Okay. So now episode 2, which was the episode that Danielle wrote. I'll start with Ben. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on episode 2?
I love the quieter character moments. I mean, like what we just said, like how episode 1 is so much happening, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then 2 is a lot more character focused and quieter and smaller, and some of those seeds are being planted so that they can blossom later on.
Yeah, it was called Epiphany. I loved it. I really did.
It's not that I didn't like it. I feel like it didn't mesh well with everything else. It's a different vibe. Because I am a quiet type of writer. Like
you brought that tone to it. I love it.
Yeah,
I know, but sometimes, especially when you have an action-packed, episode 1, you need to kind of give them that moment to catch their breath.
Exactly. And that's the only thing that I loved about episode 2 is because you have that moment where it's like you see these characters that are not always consistently in a whole bunch of drama. Like you see them rather than their situation, you see them. And that's what I loved about the second episode. I love that about the second episode.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So episode 3, let's go with Danielle because Ben wrote episode 3. What is your feedback?
It was great. Like from the beginning, like the pace was like the acting was great. The pace was like it was great. Like from the beginning. And then seeing my boo.
Who's your boo? Whoever do you mean? You might have to spell that out for us. Who's your boo?
I'm blushing.
Oh. Is she talking about Jensen?
His name, my mind is going
My boo is Jensen Atwood.
Yes. Okay. The episode was great. I was like, to me, it was my favorite episode out of the 4. It was just top quality. The acting, the writing, it was great. It was great. Cool. Yeah.
What do you think about your episode, Ben? Episode 3.
I love the way it came out. I loved putting those unexpected characters together. I love seeing. It was kind of like, oh, I wonder what would happen if we get these 2 together, and then they finally do. You know what I mean? So it felt very much like a lot of earned moments, and not just earned from something that I wrote. I mean, earned from season 1 on. It felt like this is where it was, everything was supposed to come together the way that it was.
It didn't feel forced. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And what you've seen is being paid off. That's what I really wanted to do in the finals. Like everything's being paid off.
Yeah.
So
nice. So now episode 4, Aftershock. All 3 of us wrote that episode.
And I didn't finish watching it, so.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I did not.
Okay.
So Ben, I'll go first.
Yeah, so we'll have you go first, Ben.
I don't have any harsh criticism. I thought that one's a little bit more full, but that's I think like I was saying before, everything feels really earned, and everything is based off of pulling from the first season to the second season all the way through. So I really like the way everything has come together in this 3rd season. It feels like a culmination of things and not just drama for the sake of drama or twist for the sake of twist. I really wanted to see Keisha grow and become independent and figure out her own way in life through these different things. And that's coming down the pipeline. So
and I see and not to skip over Danielle real quickly, but just talking about episode 5 of what I saw of Keisha and Clayton's character, that's the first, because they're like the comic reliefs and of the show, but that's the first time where you actually see them in a serious situation. Because so it was so interesting to see that all of a sudden they're talking, like the funny characters are talking about very serious moments, which I thought was wonderful just to see that. But go ahead, Danielle.
No, I didn't finish watching the episode, so I don't really have thoughts about it, honestly. I can't even wing it.
Well, 5 isn't out. We didn't have 5.
No,
right?
5. No, 5. Yeah,
4.
5 isn't out yet. But yeah. So okay. So this is for everybody because we all have to address the lingering question: is what are your thoughts about the new Breton?
He's wonderful. I'm speaking completely from the actor standpoint.
No, because I think that's going to be a huge thing that everybody is going to be talking about. And outside of the actual show, they're going to be talking about this, and this season, because Lamonte, the original one that you know of, he's not. Yeah. So
We had an amicable part. That's all.
no. Yeah, it was a very, and we had a personal conversation that we talked about it, and I understand I understood. Well, it's out now. You can see it. We had an in-depth conversation about that, and we discussed it, and I understood exactly where he was coming from as far as why he departed from the show. But I knew that Brandon coming into replacing the original Breton had a lot big shoes to fill, and I was so appreciative that he literally came in and gave it his all. Because in that casting process, they were really trying to do an Aunt Viv, and I said no.
Please no.
I didn't even notice that you recast.
You said what?
So I didn't even notice that you recast.
Stop it.
You're like, make sure he has a ponytail. That's it. Just make sure he also has a ponytail.
I mean, it was
No, it's only because I only had that one line, so I didn't read the rest of it.
right. So in the casting process, the casting director Janine Fisher, she had all these other wonderful actors. I mean, they were amazing, but they looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, do I want to do this? And then I just told myself, I said, nah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
I kept writing every time I got a chance for the new Brenton to walk into a room. I would say, oh, something's different about you.
I noticed that.
What's going on with you? I kept doing it.
I know that. Yes, yes, because Albert said it too in his line, as well as Keisha said. Well, that's coming up when they reintroduce each other. Get back to each other's.
It happened with the Fresh Prince too. You gotta make fun of it as well.
Exactly. All right. So I want to go into some trivia question. This is for Alexandria and Albert. All right. We're gonna ladies first.
Okay.
Go run.
So Alexandria, episode 4, season 1. What were you throwing at Breton in the pet shop?
Oh, dog toys, right? Dog toy or clothes. It was one of them. No, we were there with the bins. I remember we was there with the bins, and I was throwing things. It wasn't dog toys.
No, I'm gonna give you another hint. It was when the lady with her dog came into the pet shop.
Yes.
What were you throwing at him?
It wasn't dog. Was it sex toys?
No. No. It was potpourri.
Child. Potpourri.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, I wrote that episode and I don't remember.
So remember,
I threw a few things at him though.
You picked up the bowl of potpourri that was sitting on the table and you was checking it at him while he was sitting in the door.
Right.
All right. So moving on. So season 2, episode 7. Okay. You and Clayton were in the room. Someone knocked on the door. But what do you tell your hoes when they knock on the door?
I tell them knock 3 times, and what else do I tell them to do? Knock 3 times, and I forget the second part, but I do tell my hoes.
That's right. You said knock twice and thump 3 times.
Thump 3 times. Thump
Right.
3 times.
All right. Last trivia question. This is season 2, episode 4. When you walk into Angel's work meeting, you said he's been gone for 48 hours and he hasn't answered your phone call. You asked him about a certain activity that you weren't invited to.
That I wasn't invited to?
That you wasn't invited to.
Some type of orgy, I believe.
Okay.
Sexcation?
That's it. Look at you.
I got one of them right.
That was it. That was
something freaky. Okay.
All right, Albert, your trivia questions. All right. What was the name of the softball team in episode 2 of season 2?
For the sake of everyone involved, I think we should just cut to the back of the book.
Oh my
Because if you haven't noticed, I've been in sheltering for quite a while, and my short-term memory has left the building. So I can give you a generic answer like
Hey.
Winslow's.
No, it was called the Doomtown Rats.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn, I don't like Mondays. Now I
Yeah.
remember that one. Okay.
Yes. So then here's the next
You
trivia
didn't
question.
give me any hints, by the way. You gave Alexandria a bunch of hints.
Bro, would it
Okay.
have mattered?
Okay. This one I'll give you some hints. I'll give you some hints.
No, I already gave the disclaimer.
So
We could try again, yeah.
So no. So Dan was trying to set Angel up on a blind date. What was the celebrity name that he reminded of the young man that he was trying to set Angel up with?
Shit.
I'll give you a hint. His last name
Okay.
His last name is Weathers.
Was what?
Weathers.
Weather.
What was his first name?
Oh, yes. Carl Weathers, Apollo.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. So this is the last one trivia question. In season 1, episode 5, you guys were sitting, Angel and Dan were sitting at the bar, and Dan said he was on vacation. This is actually a 2-part trivia question, I guess. So we'll figure this out. Dan went on vacation 2 weeks to where? He said he was 2 weeks in another international country.
Yeah. I remember all the parts you mentioned just now.
It started with the B.
A B?
Yeah, you said the island. It's an
Baghdad?
island. No, we're just gonna say Bora Bora.
Bora Bora.
Yeah.
Right, but then the second part to that trivia question is Angel asked Dan about all his facial hair, and Dan's response was, it's a gay term that they call a type of person that looks like.
Lord have mercy.
Bear?
Yes, there you go.
Oh. I know. I've been called that. I went out to West Hollywood. They were me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, those are all the trivia questions that I have for you guys. Just to make sure to wrap it up, let's start with Lamonte. Just tell us where people can find you and what are you working on now?
Y'all can find me on Twitter under my pen name LD Valentine. Lately I've just been working on my book series, working on trying to get a little bit more of queer fiction out there in the world, especially with folks like in
Yes.
Texas
Come on.
talking to us like we illegal and whatnot. Outside of that, you can find me. I believe I'm on Instagram. I don't do too much because I'm fat. Therefore, I don't take a whole lot of pictures because ain't nobody trying to see me be a whale.
Be surprised,
Lord
Lamonte.
have
That's a
mercy.
girl-
Well, see, I'm at the point now where I'm married, so the only person who could be taking pictures of me can see me naked anytime he wants. So, like, what's the point? But yeah, feel free to find me on Twitter. I'm usually active on there. Send me a line, and if I got time for you, I got time for you. Hopefully, I might be able to throw my hat at Mr. Anthony over there for a few other projects. Well, we'll see.
Nice. Danielle, where can people find you at and what are you working on now?
I'm not on the social medias like that, but universal_11 LOVIN on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook is my name, Danielle S. Looney. I just wrapped a couple of short projects I produced over the summer and early fall recently. Other than that, I'm getting back to writing my own shit. I'm big
Yes.
on mental health and queerness and exploring like this otherness and older Black womanhood. So yeah, I'm just getting back to writing and healing and me, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Ben?
Yes, I have a memoir coming out the end of this year and early 2022, whatever
Come
next
on,
year is,
memoir.
2022, called The Wild in Me. I also have a series called Gig City. We just released our second episode like a week ago, so that's on YouTube. And my Instagram, my Twitter, everything like that is Ben, BEN, _RA, Ra.
Nice. Mr. Albert, where can the folks find you at, sir?
You can find me in this apartment. I don't leave very often.
That's a mood.
That's about the 180 tour. I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram, but I'm kind of a prick. I don't really follow like even my own family. I'm not a big follower on Instagram because I don't want to see everybody on Facebook and then on Instagram everyone posts the same thing twice. I don't need all that. You know, it's not a personal thing, except for there is a hierarchy of who I have on Instagram. But yeah, Facebook. My name's spelled out, Albert Monero Jr. You know, I'm kind of I go through spurts of being heavy on social network and then totally nothing. So, you know, it's cool sometimes. Thank you for joining.
What are you working on now?
Oh, right. No, okay, I can plug that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, commercials. I've been slam dunking commercials lately. I had a Lowe's one that's been playing like crazy. Michael's is about to drop. I just shot Disney Plus last month. I'm going to Mexico City in 2 days to shoot one for Nerd Wallet.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm actually producing my first show coming up in a month or two. It's called Judge Judy. Yeah, it's me being Judge Judy, you know, just fucking handing it to whoever. And we already shot a lot of it, but we're doing wraparounds and hopefully it'll get distributed on Peacock next year.
Wow.
Nice.
Good
job.
Cross, man.
Yeah. It's, you know, this is what I do. I don't have relationships. I don't have lots of friendships. I mean, I got a lot of cool people, but you know, it's all about the acting stuff. That's why I'm in LA.
Right. So last but not least, the beautiful and ever so talented Alexandria. Tell people where they can find you and what are you working on now?
They can find me on Instagram, from Sunny with Love, all spelled out, SUNNY. And I am working on right now my own stuff, like writing my own project. You know, I got a story to tell, just like everybody does.
Yes.
So working on my own project and just trying to dip my hand in a little bit of everything and revamping myself as an actress and just trying to get back out there after COVID because it took us all through the mud. So just trying to revamp and get back out there and just, I'm trying to be on your screen more and more and more and more.
Right. You need it. Bring forth.
We're gonna send you that Keisha spinoff script anyway.
Right?
Send it to me. I'm ready.
I got you, girl.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and just having this conversation with me, talking about the show, reliving the things, and giving people a little bit more insight of what goes on behind the scenes. I am Anthony Bond. I am the show creator, and you're watching this on watchvim.com's website. So make sure that you tune in to season 3 of Conframa that is coming out November 19th. Stream it, like it, share it, do everything to support all these wonderful, beautiful people. Thank you so much and see you guys later. Peace.